Baba is discussing all the 4 subjects of our practice of Rajyoga. Baba talks about knowledge, yoga, virtues, and service. So these are the 4 subjects that we have in this study of Rajyoga. And all these 4 subjects are different from each other. It is not like studying one subject or being good at one subject is a substitute for others. No, Baba says you have to understand knowledge, you have to have yoga, and you have to have divine virtues and also do seva. And when you're good at all the 4 subjects, then you receive the inheritance of kingship. So you become a king. And Baba says that even if you have neither knowledge nor yoga, but you have loving feelings for Baba, and not loving feelings based on just devotion, but you know Baba as he is, and you have loving feelings for Baba, and you have the intention to take your inheritance from Baba, then Baba says, then also you will get an inheritance. This is a very beautiful, wonderful school where you will go to Satyug, you will pass even if there is no knowledge and no yoga, but very pure knowledge, very pure feelings for Baba. But Baba says, you will not get a high position in Satyug then. For a good position, you need to have good knowledge, good yoga. You also need to imbibe divine virtues and do seva. Now let us understand all these 4 subjects. So you see that understanding knowledge is reflected in our choices and our day-to-day decisions and how we use our body, mind and wealth. So knowledge is a very important subject, and Baba says that I give you a knowledge, I give you the knowledge of the soul, I give you the knowledge of the journey of the soul, I give you a knowledge about myself, who am I, what am I like, where do I live, what do I do, which body do I take. This knowledge is not there with anybody else. Now specifically, let's take today's Murli. So specifically Baba says that you children have the knowledge that every soul is a tiny star and every soul has a part of their own. So every soul has a pre-recorded part in themselves, and every soul's part is different and imperishable. So they repeat the same part every cycle. It doesn't change, it doesn't perish. So have you become knowledgeful? Knowledgeful means, have you imbibed this piece of knowledge that every soul is a tiny star with a specific part and a role and a duty that is ingrained in the soul. So if you understand that, then would you compare anybody with yourself? Or would you expect anything from anybody based on what you think they should be doing? Because now you understand that they are doing what they are meant to do, and they do that every cycle, and that's what makes sense to them every cycle. It doesn't matter whether that makes sense to you or not, and you are nobody to question whether what they are doing is sensible or not based on your sensibility and your part. So, questioning another person's part or comparing your part with somebody else's is the act of somebody who doesn't have knowledge. But let us ask ourselves, are we also behaving in a similar fashion as somebody who doesn't have knowledge, or are we really behaving knowledgefully? Yes, because you see that I remember, there was this one Mata, and her husband used to be very ill behaved. And whenever I talked to her, she would just say one line, Didi, that's her part. What can we do? That's his part, sorry. That's his part. What can we do? But I am a deity soul. I am a Brahmin soul. So I have to do what I have to do. So it was so simple, and I never saw her raise any questions about his behavior. She neither had attachment nor had any questions. She just fulfilled her role in the house. She said that I eat in that house provides for me, I have a duty to play, I play that duty, that's it, and nothing bothers me. Now you see that, have I imbibed this knowledge that every soul has a pre-recorded part which is prefixed and which repeats every cycle identically, and if I have imbibed it, I would never question anybody's part. I would never say why this one is behaving like this, because I already know the answer, and the answer is because that's their part. That's their pre-recorded part in themselves. So one is never questioning anybody's part. Second is having expectations or making comparisons that I can do this, why can't this person do it? This is also pretty, ignorant behavior, because we understand that you have your own specialities, your own path, your own duties, and they have their own. And there is no need to expect anything from anybody or compare with your part. So this is something that Baba tells us is a piece of knowledge. And the second point that Baba today says is that now I understand, I have the knowledge that a soul takes many births, and to be precise, maximum 84, minimum 1. So every soul's number of births is between 84 and 1. And when a soul takes rebirth, then the features and the part in every birth is very different from the last and the next birth. Yes, and Baba gives us the whole detail of the parts that we play. And could we ever think that, somebody who is so ordinary and vicious today could have been a deity in the past? So we could never think about ourselves as deities. But Baba says this is the interesting thing, that you cannot figure out the past of a person with the present, birth. So the present birth could be very different from the past birth and the future birth. And Baba says that in the beginning, I am a deity, and then you see I change into a worshipper, and then I change into a Brahmin. So it's a huge change. And if we understand that, then we would not be limited by our present form and present features and present role. So, it becomes very difficult for an individual to visualize that I am a deity when they know who they are today. Yes, so it becomes very difficult for somebody to accept and acknowledge that I was a deity 5,000 years ago, when today somebody is vicious or somebody has lost confidence in themselves. But Baba says that it is very astounding that every birth's features and activities are very, very different from the last one and the future one. And when we imbibe this, our mind opens up to the possibilities that exist for me. So we break that box in which we were thinking. And I remember, when I used to give courses, so there were many people, in fact, at least 10, 12 times this thing has come up, that when we told somebody that think about yourself as a deity, they would immediately ask, will it not be sacrilege or a sin to think about yourself as a deity? Because people think that a deity is a deity and I'm a vicious human being, and you've been singing these songs for so long that I'm vicious, I'm neech, papi, and you are great and you are pure. So we keep singing these songs. So there is a lot of resistance, internal resistance, in thinking about yourself as a deity. So Baba says that this is another piece of knowledge, that the births that we take are drastically different from each other. And just think about the range of the roles that we play. In the first birth, I'm a completely, nirvikari. I'm viceless deity. And then now what have I become? I've become completely vicious. And you see, Baba says that I am an actor. And have you seen that when there is a good actor, it is very difficult to, and we have a tendency to typecast everybody. And you see a good actor in the role of an ordinary person, and you think that this person is best to play only this role. This person cannot play the role of an affluential person in another drama or in another movie. But when they play that role, you are equally stunned that this person is such a good actor that they can play both these roles so well, and they were so convincing in both the roles. And Baba says that you are also the best actor. You are the number one actor, the hero actor. And you have played the role of a completely viceless deity in a viceless world. And here you are playing the role of an ordinary person in a vicious world. And now Baba says you have to play the role of Baba's right hand in creating Satyug. So Baba says, just think about yourself as this multifaceted actor who can play every role very well. And I always feel this thing that when I came into Gyan, I always thought that I cannot be very good at management, and I thought that I can be good at learning, I can be a good student, I can meditate, but I cannot run a management. I'm not good at management. But then, I used to in yoga, I used to, and also, in self reflection, I used to think about myself as somebody who has managed a kingdom. And I used to think about myself as somebody who will be a queen or king in Satyug, and I will manage a whole kingdom. So when I'm a king in Satyug, then I must have management skills. And when I started thinking on those lines, suddenly, because I broke that limitation that was within, I could understand the things of management. So, this is a very personal experience that I'm sharing with you, because Baba opens and the biggest limitation is the limitation of your own consciousness. So, when you break that limitation and you understand that, with knowledge, you understand that in these 84 births, there is such a wide variety of roles and characters that you have played, that there is nothing that you can't do. So, even if you have not done bhakti in this birth, you have done it for 63 births, right? So, you know that you have a big bhagat inside you. You know that you have a deity inside you. And you see, with that, and I'm specifically talking about bhakti today, because in the Murli today, Baba talks about the importance of bhavana also. So, this deep feeling of devotional love for God. And, when we come to Gyan, maybe today I'm a very logical, or I think I'm very logical and scientific, and I'm going by understanding Baba and understanding Gyan. But for 63 births, you have had this deep devotional love for Baba. And that bhavana you are capable of even today. So, that bhavana which makes a bhakt jump into a well and cut themselves up against a sword in Kashi Kalvat, that kind of bhavana still exists inside you. So there is a deity inside you, there is a bhakt inside you who is ready to die for God. And there is every role that we have played in these 84 births has been so different from each other. And our features have also been so different. So just remember your Satyugi features. What were our Satyugi features like? So the features were so pure. Even the face, the eyes, everything was so pure. And you see, when you rotate the Swadershan Chakra, when you mentally visit your 84 births, then when you go to Satyug, what do you see there? You see yourself sitting in a body which is pure, and you are a pure soul acting in a pure body, and every organ of your body, it has the fragrance of purity. And you see, purity is such a purity is so subtle and so sweet. There is a fragrance in purity which is very unique. And when we think about our features in Satyug, even the eyes are pure. So you see, the eyes have love but no attachment. Yes, so these days when we look at our eyes, the eyes, when they have love, they have attachment, and when they don't have attachment or love, then they are dry. But just look at the features of Satyug. So Baba says, every birth, your features have been very different, your path has been very different, and when you visit yourself, when you mentally visit all your 84 births, continuously and regularly, then you arrive at an experience of who you really are, and you are not limited by your perception of who you are based on the current birth. So, this birth is just one birth out of many, and I'm not limited to who I am in this birth. And this breaks your box, and you start thinking out of that box, and you start emerging those qualities and powers and virtues inside you. So Baba gives us this knowledge, and Baba makes us think knowledgefully. And when we start thinking knowledgefully, so do you reflect on the knowledge that Baba gives? Because by reflection, so when you reflect on the knowledge that Baba gives, knowledge starts changing into consciousness or awareness. So it is through reflection that you change knowledge into awareness. Have you seen that sometimes you see a video about something, maybe you see a video about how much pesticide is being used in food these days, right? And then you see many videos, but you're not affected by them. But then sometime it so happens that you start thinking about it and you start reflecting on it. And then when you see food, you think about it as a plate full of pesticides. So why does that happen? Because when you reflect on any piece of information, that starts changing into an awareness inside you. It starts changing your drishti, it starts changing your attitude towards everything. So when we start reflecting on this knowledge that Baba gives about ourselves and about every soul on the planet, then we start reflecting on it, then that knowledge changes our attitude and our vision towards ourselves and towards other souls. So this is why Baba says, I give you knowledge and you have to make the effort to be knowledgeful. So, we are learning the new truth that Baba is giving us. So the truth which was hidden for so much long is now revealed. But do we reflect on it enough for it to change into our attitude and vision? So that's that. And then Baba says that I give you the knowledge that I am God and I only choose to come, or that's my part to come at the end of every cycle. And when I come, I sit in the body of Brahma Baba and I give you the true knowledge, which when you imbibe, you become eligible for the true world, for the land of truth. Now Baba says that, have you reflected enough on this? Because if you start reflecting on this wonderful part of Baba, that Baba who stays in the soul world has come for me, and he is sitting in Brahma Baba's body and giving me the knowledge and teaching me the Rajyoga, which will change me from a human to a deity, then how much importance will you give to the Murli that Baba speaks? Yes, and how much regard will you have for that body in which Baba descends? So Baba says, your knowledge, the knowledge that I am giving you should change your attitude and your drishti. But we have to ask ourselves whether we are reflecting on that knowledge enough. So this is the first thing. Then Baba says the subject of yoga is different. Now what is yoga? So Baba says there is this expression called dead silence. Yes, so Baba says that whatever you are looking for, whether it is peace, happiness, purity, power, you can have all that in yoga. So there is this story about a queen who lost her necklace, and she kept looking for the necklace all around, and then somebody pointed out that it's there in your neck, you're wearing it. So similarly, Baba says that we forgot that I am a soul and my original nature and religion is peace, purity, joy, and I have this link of love, this deep, true relationship with the ocean of purity and ocean of peace himself. So, Baba says that whatever you are looking for in the outside world, what you need to do to get it is just sit in the awareness, in silence. You sit in the awareness that I'm a soul and I'm with Baba, and Baba is the ocean of all that I need, and I'm taking it from Baba. So Baba says, don't look for anything outside. I'm here giving it to you. In silence, you have to fill yourself with me. Yes, now let's say somebody says there is no water in the tank, but they say, I don't have the patience to wait until the tank fills. So then you have to, work without the water, because you have to have the patience to fill the tank. So Baba says, it's not, you don't have to look for anything outside. You are a soul. I am your father. I am giving you everything. But in order to receive that and fill yourself, you have to sit in dead silence. What is dead silence? So, when do we use this word dead? So, dead means when a soul is not in the body. So, when we say dead silence, it means a stage when the soul is completely detached from the body through the buddhi. So, Baba says, when you sit in dead silence, when you sit like the body doesn't exist, it is just you and me, and you're soaking in everything that I'm giving you. I'm sending the light of love, the light of purity, the light of peace, and you're just soaking it inside you. That's the stage of yoga. And Baba says that knowledge is a different subject, yoga is a different subject. And knowledge is to shift our conscious thoughts, but yoga is to cleanse the subconscious and unconscious. And until and unless you take out time and sit in this dead silence and take virtues and powers from Baba, take light and might from Baba, it is impossible to cleanse all the garbage that's there accumulating inside you for so long. So Baba says, first thing is paying attention to the Murli, understanding the knowledge, reflecting on it enough so that it becomes part of your awareness. And when you come into action, you do different action, knowledgeful action, which doesn't create a negative karmic account. Then second thing is sitting in silence and drawing light and might from Baba. And then Baba says, third thing is imbibing divine virtues. Because in the new world, in the world that we are going to, there will not be the things and the practices and the sanskars that are there in Kali Yuga. So Baba says that, Baba gives the example of cigarette and alcohol and stuff. So Baba says that in Satyug, will somebody smoke cigarettes? Yes. So, can you imagine even a deity smoking cigarettes? But yes, we can, because in bhakti we have done that. We have given us, we have made Shankarji into a smoker. But Baba says that that's not how it was in Satyug. So Baba says, you have to understand what will be there in Satyug and what will not be there, and create those divine sanskars. So in Satyug, nobody will have impure food. You don't kill animals and eat in Satyug. So you have to do away with those sanskars, because you see, there is a very interesting story of a fisherwoman, and there was this woman who used to fish and sell that fish, and then she was spotted by a king, and the king married her and took her to the palace, and then she lived in the palace, and after some days she said, I don't want to live in the palace, please leave me from where you took me. So the king was very surprised. He said, I took you from that dirty place which was reeking of fish smell and I brought you to this beautiful place, this palace, and now you want to go back. But why? So she said, I miss the smell of fish. So you see that this is a story which says that even if you are in a palace, if your sanskar is that of a fisherwoman, you will leave the palace and go back to that place, because that's your sanskar. So when the sanskar calls, it doesn't allow you to settle down or even appreciate your fortune. So Baba says that in Satyug, in order to go to Satyug, you have to create Satyugi sanskars. Otherwise, you will feel uncomfortable in Satyug. Yes, so I remember there was this one Mata, and she said, you people are living in Swarg. And she said, centers are such pure places and it's a fortune to stay in the center. So I said, you are also welcome. You can stay for some days. So she said, no, I can't stay because I am not a divine soul like you. So I said, no, everybody is a divine soul. So she said, no, Didi, what I am saying, try to understand. I have very bad manners. I wake up late. I am always on the phone. I am very irritable. I do not talk respectfully. So, although I understand that the center is such a pure place, a place where somebody fortunate stays, I don't have the eligibility to be there. And just think about, your inner self telling you you are not eligible to go to Satyug because you've not created divine sanskars. So just like, when I give you the example of that Mata was not rejected by anybody in the center. She self-rejected her. She rejected herself. Why? Because she did not have the confidence that she belongs here, because she has not created those sanskars. Now just think about a Brahmin who has not created deity sanskar. Will you not reject yourself before Dharamraj rejects you? So you see, anybody who doesn't create divine sanskars will not have the confidence to even contest to be a deity. So you see, even your own mind will say you can't be a deity. So then how can you be something you can't even think about? So this is why it's very important to look at all the habits and sanskars, whether they are gross like the habits of food and drink and sleep and getting up, or they are subtle like the habits of not being in harmony or not having an attitude of respect or not speaking sweetly. So just check for yourself and imbibe those sanskars, because when you don't have that sanskars, you will reject yourself. In your inner self, you know that you cannot go to Satyug. And how can you go somewhere you can't think of even going? And then Baba says the most important subject which makes you a king in Satyug is seva. So those who serve, do spiritual service, do the service of making the arrangement of taking this knowledge and spiritual yoga to every soul in the world. Those who make the arrangement of this through their body, mind and wealth, of sharing this, sharing Baba's knowledge and yoga with every soul in the world. So you see, it is done by two methods. A, you directly share knowledge with somebody. B, you support the centers which are doing this seva of sharing knowledge and the practice of Rajyoga with every soul. So Baba says, when you support the centers with your body, mind and wealth, or when you share the knowledge that Baba is giving you, you are doing seva, and that will make you a deity in the future. But let me tell you, individually, it is impossible for anybody to share complete knowledge and make somebody a Brahmin. So supporting the center is the only method to to earn the credits of seva and become a king in Satyug. So this is the subject that makes you a Raja. Okay, Om Shanti.